WICR. We're now on Live 365 and Ustream.com. Just search WICR and like us on Facebook. Facebook.com/WICR Iona College Radio.
Hello, Iona College. Welcome back to the WICR Morning Show. I am your host with the most, Jersey Joe, coming with my main man, Armand Madeo. And I kind of like the routine we're going with the Wednesday morning show. You know, this is kind of your tech fix, your movie fix, your show fix. Everything you want to know, we've got that covered on the Wednesday morning show. So, Armand, how you feeling this morning? You ready to get into it?
I'm feeling great, Joe. I mean, the morning's going by really fast so far, so let's make a good show out of this.
Let's get into it. Let's kick it right off. I put out an Instagram post last night saying that whatever shows you guys should be looking for this fall, and there are a lot of good ones, we're going to cover them all this morning. We'll tell you the ones we're excited for. We'll tell you the new ones maybe you might be looking into. So Armand's got a nice list prepared for us. So Armand, why don't you kick it off with what you've got so far?
I mean, I'm going to go with the ones I'm unsure about right now that I might take a look at, but I don't know if I'm going to stay with the long run.
That's good. That's a good call.
I mean, Chicago Fire's been on for 3 seasons now, and I want to check it out. I love firemen. I love their whole stories, all their heroic acts that they do, and I would love to see how this show, Chicago Fire, depicts a fireman's life.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's one of those ones where I've not, I mean, we should say right off the bat, especially for you and me, I mean, we're sports guys first and foremost, so it's really hard for us to stay with a series.
Oh, yes.
Like, a lot of the series that I watch, I do it when we're on winter break or when we're in summer break yeah. Because there's not as much to do there. I mean, they always conflict with games, and we got to watch the games first. But definitely. All right, so go to the next one.
I got a couple zombie shows here. I know me and Joey love our zombie shows.
You can't get enough zombies.
There's this new show coming out. It's called Z Nation. I don't think the release date has been
confirmed yet.
Yeah, it's not been confirmed yet, but it's about a group of survivors trying to save humanity after a zombie apocalypse, and that they are only trying to get one person who has been unaffected by the zombie plague from New York to California. So that's like a couple 1,000-mile journey? I mean, that's a pretty long journey.
I mean, here's the thing. It's on Sci-Fi, you said, right?
Yeah,
I think sometimes Sci-Fi, I mean, they've got some good stuff. Maybe sometimes they don't get the best kind of rap sheet, but they put out some pretty good stuff. Look, I mean, if you put zombies in it nowadays, somebody's going to watch.
Could you imagine going from California to New York, how many zombies you would come across?
Oh, my God.
I don't think I'd make it past Idaho.
I mean, you watch The Walking Dead, they have enough trouble getting from, like, one house to the other.
Oh, man.
Going from that...
Across the country.
I mean, it's kind of like, did you see World War Z?
Take a plane.
World War Z with Brad Pitt.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was good, but I mean, it's kind of crazy how they jump from like the U.S. to like South Korea to Israel,
somewhere in the Middle East.
Back to the and then the plane crashes and they find a way back. I mean, they really made a lot of traveling moves.
That was a global movie.
It was good. I think they're making a second one too.
They are? Look at that, Brad Pitt staying strong.
It was good. I mean, I thought
he was good in it.
It didn't disappoint. No. So then let's stay on the zombie thing. The Walking Dead, obviously.
I'm jumping on the bandwagon, Joe.
You're jumping. I'm very happy because that's the thing I always said to you. I was so surprised because I mean everybody watches.
I don't even know what channel is it on.
For me, I have IO. It's 43 AMC.
I have Files. I don't know.
Okay, so
I think big, you know.
Yeah. Oh, always thinking big. But I was surprised because I mean everybody watches The Walking Dead. I can't watch it because it always conflicts with Sunday Night Football, but they kind of have them there.
Oh, you should have told me that. I can't watch it now.
Here's the good thing. AMC,
DVR.
They always pick a day. Like, there was a day this summer where they literally played the entire season marathon. I didn't get up from my chair. I just sat there and watched every episode. So I love the show.
I'm marking it down my calendar, October 12th.
But here's the thing is, I'm a little worried for you right now because you missed a lot.
I know. You have to give me the rundown, Joe.
If you start off with season 5, you're picking it up at a good time because season 4 ended really well. But you missed out.
Is it one of those shows that you have to be with it the whole way in order to understand?
Here's the thing.
I mean, it's a zombie movie. How twisted can it be with the plot?
That's the thing is, like, I think character development is really important to The Walking Dead, probably more than some other like
what's the other one? My favorite zombie movie is
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead. When they're in the mall.
The new one, yeah. I think
that was so good.
That Dawn of the Dead.
I love those buses they make.
And here's the thing. I don't know if have you seen 28 Weeks Later and 28 Days Later? Now
those zombies are those zombies are on steroids.
But there's some people who don't classify those as zombies.
No, because they're more like
it's more of like I mean, they are. I mean, I guess they would classify.
Those zombies
as
run
that.
like Chris Paul.
Oh, they do run like. I mean, those ones. If there was ever a real like zombie thing, those would be the worst.
I'd be
ones to
scared.
run
I'd be
into.
dead in 5
Oh
minutes.
my god.
I'd be like, Joe, we gotta
Because
deal with the slow ones.
They've
alright?
got speed. They've got
Hops.
athleticism.
Yeah.
They've got all those intangibles, and it would be scary. But yeah, definitely those.
Well, isn't 28 days later they're not that fast, and then 28 weeks later they suddenly become like sprint runners?
That's a good point.
I'm pretty sure.
There is. They did because I don't know if you remember. It's not really spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it, but there's a scene where they're defending like a mansion, and there's like a big open field where they're all coming and attacking the mansion.
That's 28 days later, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the first one.
Yeah.
And then they've got some speed there.
They got some speed there.
They've got some speed there. But yeah, I mean, going back to the Walking Dead thing, very excited. The season premiere of Walking is season
October
5.
12th.
October 12th.
Mark it down, boys.
Mark it down. October 12th. It's the cool thing is we're going to go into like what shows we're personally most excited for the fall. For me, The Walking Dead was number 2 on mine. And if you look at the list, really everything is coming out around October. All the really good stuff. So October's always that.
Oh no,
great
the
time.
best of the best is in September, but I don't want to spoil anyone yet.
Oh, we're gonna get to that one.
there.
We're going to get to that one. Okay, so keep on going the list. We gave a little bit of talk about zombies in there.
I got another show coming out in 2015. I think it's they're doing the script now, so it's called Wayward Pines. It's coming out in spring of 2015. It's about a Secret Service agent who goes to Wayward Pines, Idaho, in search of 2 federal agents, and they've gone missing in bucolic town. He soon learns that they may never get out of Wayward Pines alive. And you know what the interesting thing about this show is? It's directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Okay, I've heard the name.
He makes a lot of interesting sci-fi movies like Signs and what else did he make?
I've never seen Signs, but I mean
he makes those weird, cool suspense movies.
Okay.
You know?
What this
Very
is,
unique director.
Do you know what network this is on?
No, I don't know that much about it. That's
Okay.
all I know. I was Googling it and I was like, what is this?
All right, maybe keep an eye on
Not
that.
yet
one.
released, so yeah.
What
It's
do you
in
have?
development.
What do you have after that? In development. What's after that?
I don't want to say my top 3 yet, but I'll go with another one I saw that looked pretty cool. I mean, it's going into its 2nd season. It's Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, that old one always looked kind of
It
interesting.
did look
to
interesting,
me.
right? I like the movie with Johnny Depp. Came out in the 1990s.
Oh yeah,
It didn't do very good, like in the ratings.
at the box office.
Yeah,
okay.
it did not do good at all. But you know, this interests me. You know,
It's an interesting dynamic. You know, the Sleepy Hollow legend, the Headless Horseman
yeah.
thing. But I mean, I've seen the commercials and everything, and it definitely
it looks
piqued,
so much different.
it
than the
piqued my
movie.
interest.
Oh yeah, it definitely piqued my interest. I think I saw one episode and I just forgot about it.
Really.
But
Well,
it was good. It was good.
What is it on like its second
It's on
season?
Yeah, it's in the second season. It's
season?
on Fox.
Okay. Hey Fox, we're gonna
So
get to
you-
what Fox has got, but Fox.
So
it seems
listeners,
like,
you might want to check it out. You know.
definitely. I mean, once I get into the bulk of mine, that would be one that I would definitely check out eventually. So you want to get into our
I got my top 3
into our
coming.
tops?
Well, you go first now.
All right, I gotta go for it. The Instagram post I put last night was of a show called Arrow. Arrow is on CW. I gotta give my little brother, credit because he kept telling me, bugging me, you gotta watch this show, you gotta watch this show, you gotta watch this show. So I went on Netflix early in the summer. After I watched the first episode, I was hooked.
What's it about?
Arrow is based on the DC Comics character Green Arrow.
Oh.
The guy who plays him is Stephen Amell, who I think is like perfectly exemplifies. I mean, he's like the perfect actor for Green Arrow.
For his role, yeah.
And I mean, in the funny thing about it is, I mean, when you think like characters who would get their own TV show from a comic book, Green Arrow's not really one of the ones who's like one of the most popular. I mean, if you ask people to like pick out the most like representable guy, a lot of
Batman,
people aren't. Yeah,
Superman.
Batman. A lot of people aren't picking Green Arrow. So I mean, just that fact alone that they made this guy so interesting. I mean, it is pretty impressive. And the show's on its 3rd season. The first 2 are on Netflix now. So if you have a Netflix account and you've been interested in it, for a guy like me who doesn't watch as many shows because of all the sports thing, it's probably one of my favorite action shows of all time.
You've seen the first 2 seasons?
Did
Like,
watch
from
the
the
first
start?
season.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I'm telling you, after I watched that first episode, I was hooked. I just kept. I watched like 2 episodes a day from season 1 and season 2 until they were done. I loved it. It was so good.
Did you ever check out the show Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
You know, my brother is like huge on this stuff. Like he follows this
Yeah,
stuff
the
like we
comics and
follow
all that.
sports.
Mhm.
So he kind of tells me
What
what
does
I
he
should
think
be
about it?
watching. What I don't know. He thinks it's okay. I know the new season is coming up. But I mean, he said it was okay. You know, nothing.
I checked out one episode. I didn't really like it. It wasn't what I expected.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. For a guy like you and me, when we see it, it's like, wow, this looks pretty cool. I mean, everybody's seen the Avenger movies, really good. And when you see that, I mean, I guess you're kind of set up for disappointment when you don't know as much because you go in there expecting something after seeing the movie, and then it's a lot different.
Yeah.
So I think that's
I hate
part
those
of the
feelings.
thing. It's always the worst, but
That's a great segue though about the whole Arrow thing because I'm sticking with DC Comics here. I'm gonna go into talk about the Flash.
oh, that's nice.
It's coming out on October 7th, 2014.
A day before Arrow. The cool thing is Flash is on October 7th. Arrow is out on October 8th.
All right, so DC's gonna bring in a lot of revenue.
Yeah,
those 2 days.
DC's bringing the heat when it comes to TV.
Yeah, just in case you guys don't know, it's about the adventures of a scientist named Barry Allen who is gifted with incredible speed. It's a basic rundown right there.
Now let me tell you a really cool thing you're going to enjoy. Arrow and Flash will interconnect with one another.
Oh.
So you'll have the Green Arrow in episodes of Flash, and
Are
you'll
they
have Flash.
friends or are they nemesis?
They are friends. The cool thing is they set up Flash. Barry Allen was in Arrow season 2. So they kind of set up.
So Arrow
Flash.
set this whole thing going.
Exactly.
All right.
Arrow set up Flash, and now Flash is doing his own thing. He's got his own show.
He's doing his own thing now.
So it's cool. I mean, Flash was cool, but the guy who played Barry Allen,
How was his character? I
he's
never heard
good.
about him. Who was playing the guy? I don't even know who's playing him.
the
though.
Barry Allen thing is
Who's the actor? You know,
I don't know his name.
new guy.
But from the episodes I watched of Arrow season 2, I really liked what I saw.
All right,
Because
cool.
the last you see of Barry Allen is when he gets there's like a nuclear accident or something
that
like
where he
that.
gets his powers?
That's where he gets his powers
All
from.
right,
That's the
that's
last
cool.
you see it. So Flash is. Here's what I also will say this. Marvel. You look at Marvel on the movie front. Obviously, for people who don't know comic books that well, Marvel and DC are the two giants.
Yep.
No one else is as big as they are. But Marvel on the movie front is just destroyed DC.
Yeah.
But it seems like now the cool thing is it seems like DC is really doing much better in the TV show space. I mean, you've got Gotham coming out, which we will talk about.
Oh, he said it.
You've
already.
got
We wanna
Flash.
Save that one.
We're getting to it. We got Flash and Arrow. So DC's doing really well when it comes to the TV space, but Marvel, I mean,
Brings in all the
you
movies.
just had Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers. You had all these huge
Spider-Man.
movies coming out. No wait, is Spider-Man?
Spider-Man's Marvel.
Spider-Man is Marvel. You're right. Yeah, Marvel, man. I mean, they're just dominating the movie space. And aside from the Batman movies on DC's front,
Superman. I don't know. The Superman movies have always been
Yeah.
upsetting.
did
to
you
me.
see the new one? I did
No,
not
I've
see
not.
the new
That's-
one. I've heard disappointing things.
Yeah.
And then you have Batman versus Superman, and which is coming out.
Ben
but
Affleck's
Ben
Batman.
Affleck's in it, so that already takes my excitement out of it. But we talked a little Arrow, we talked a little Flash.
Yeah, that's
Armand,
good.
you want to get into the next big one?
Number 2 is a fantasy horror movie coming out on October 24 on NBC called Constantine.
Yeah, we were talking about this a little before the show.
Yeah, it's got a little unique twist about it. It's about a man struggling with his faith, and he's haunted by the sins of his past, but suddenly emerges into a role of defending humanity from the gathering forces of darkness.
Now, here's the thing, Armand. Who are these gathering forces of darkness? That's what I want to know.
Some demonic spirits.
Probably.
I have no clue.
Is this a Fox one as well? It sounds like
No,
Fox.
NBC.
NBC, okay. NBC. I think that's the first NBC one we've
Yeah,
talked
it is
about.
actually.
Okay. Definitely.
We gotta
that's-
check it out.
All right, we talked about that. We've been waiting long enough. You want to get into it?
Oh man, I'm ready.
Okay, we are just stoked. I mean, just excitement is off the charts for this one. The Gotham series premiere September 22nd on Fox. And before we even get into it, I'll say this. I got some inside information from my brother. I call him an insider when it comes to this
inside
kind
man.
of stuff. He is our inside man, so throughout the year when we talk about this stuff, you can thank my brother. He's the insider. We got Netflix has purchased the rights and will pay $1.7 million per episode of Gotham before the show has even premiered. Now, there's been a lot of people saying this is a risky adventure. Obviously, after the season is over, Netflix will immediately get the rights to this. They'll get each episode before anyone else can. But $1.7 million for
I think it's
show,
a smart move.
I mean, here's the thing.
This show is not going to fail. It's going to be a blockbuster hit.
I think the show's going to be great. Here's what I've learned is Batman, anything sells.
Oh, yeah.
Batman, if it has Batman on it or anything that's incorporated or linked to Batman in any way, it'll sell.
Bruce Wayne's in this, but I think it's his storyhood about his child. I mean, it's the story about his childhood.
Here's what we should say so for people, if they're going to be disappointed when they don't see Batman running around every 2 seconds, they're not disappointed. This is kind of before, when Bruce Wayne is still a kid. This is following like the emergence of all the villains who kind of become that Gotham lore. It kind of follows like the Riddler, the young Riddler, how all these villains, these iconic villains of Gotham kind of got their start. It follows James Gordon when he was still a detective. So I think it's really cool concept. You've seen young Bruce Wayne in I believe him and Gordon were in the office together after the tragic day where his parents got killed.
Dark Knight Rises. Yeah.
So it's cool. It's a really cool concept. And I think it seems like the guys they got to play the actors, I think they did a pretty good job casting.
Is Blake in it?
Is Blake in it?
Who's essentially Robin?
I don't think he's in it.
You know why? Have you ever seen the TV show The O.C.?
The OST.
It came out like 10 years ago. I know Ian in the back over there has seen it. Well,
it sounds familiar.
Benjamin McKenzie is the guy who's playing James Gordon, and in the O.C. he was the main character named Ryan.
Okay.
So I think putting him in this show is just a great move.
Yeah.
You know? Because I think he's a great actor, and I think he'll play James Gordon to the fullest.
I agree. I mean, when you look at from the trailers I've seen, he's going to be like one of the more prominent characters. And I really think I like what I've seen.
He's a very serious character. I think he can put this whole serious mindset behind James Gordon, make him sort of like that, not like a dark character, but more like a more physical character.
Well, I mean, that's the thing that the new Batman films, the Christopher Nolan ones, got really well. I mean, Batman at its core is extremely dark.
Yeah.
I mean, it is really, really just
Hence
dark.
the Dark Knight.
Exactly. I mean, that's why I think the Dark Knight got it so good, because, I mean, there's no, like, joking Batman about it. I mean, this is cruel, twisted stuff. And I think that if they follow that kind of blueprint here, the show's going to have a great deal of success. I can't wait to see the season.
I hope Gotham has a special guest star in Bane.
You know what? That's a
I am Gotham's reckoning.
Will there be a Bane in there? I mean,
nah, it probably won't, but that'd be cool, though,
well, if it was Bane, it wouldn't be the one that we grew to know in the show, because he kind of gets he was a wrestler before all this. He's a luchador before all this happened originally, so then he kind of had like.
Then he went into the League of Shadows.
Exactly. He was a scientist. He did these things. So it's cool. And one thing, I mean, I follow especially for my brother, the DC comic side pretty closely. And I mean, Batman, anything, like I was saying before, it sells.
Joey, you reference your brother so much, I think he should be in the show with us.
He should be on the show with us because he could be telling us.
He provides us with the inside report.
Exactly. The knowledge he could be bringing to the table right now is he would be telling us things that would just be really, really cool.
Special guest star.
He is in class right now, though, so thanks to his school, he's got to be in class instead of being on the air with us. But that would be very cool. But yeah, Gotham, definitely.
Can't take a sick day?
No sick day, unfortunately.
No sick day.
But we'll bring him on one day.
Bring him on.
Now, let's go into the Blu-ray front. Blu-ray movies, obviously. Now, Armand, we did our movie thing last year. This show is a little bit more focused on the show side, but this week we have Captain America: The Winter Soldier coming out on Blu-ray. Now, last semester we came on that Friday when the movie was coming out, and I said on the air that I really wanted to see it, but it was that busy time of the year. I still have not seen the movie. So, Armand, you have seen the movie. Do I need to go out and buy this Blu-ray right away?
Yes, you do, Joe. I mean, The Winter Soldier was nothing less than perfection. Like, in every category, it was great action, had a good plot to it. I forget the other main character that emerges in this. His buddy?
From the first one, yeah.
Yeah, what's his name?
He
was really good. Falcon? No, not Falcon. What's the name?
I can't think of the name, but
He flies.
I know what he looks like. Like, obviously, I've seen him
Yeah,
in
he acted.
commercials.
But
and
anyway,
stuff like
he
that.
acted really good in this movie. The Winter Soldier. There were some amazing battle sequences between Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I mean, you need to go out and buy this, Joe.
Was it better than? The
Oh, it was
first
better
Captain
than the
America?
first
It
one,
was
yes.
okay because I
Yes.
really liked
The first one was
Captain
real. I mean, I don't want to. The first one was really good too. I mean, they're both equivalent. How about
Okay.
that?
Okay. Nice. I definitely want to go out there. I mean,
I love Chris Evans in the Captain America role.
oh, he's perfect. I
Like-
mean, that's.
He's a good-looking dude. You know, he's got a great body. I mean,
Hey, it's fun. I agree.
I mean, Captain America is kind of a big, stocky dude. I mean, so
Here's the thing. I think, especially for comic book for actors that are coming to play these prominent roles of these comic book characters, I think, especially for fans, I think that you need to get that perfect guy. I mean,
you do. The
you s-
characters.
You saw with Ben Affleck casted as Batman how the internet kind of just like went up in flames. I mean, because people are so passionate about these connections to these characters.
Well-
If you don't find a guy who's like gonna make a good fit, I just don't think it works.
Unfortunately, all the Batman cast members have not been very good in the past. I mean, Michael Keaton, I think, was that good either.
Oh.
George Clooney, great actor, but not Batman. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Christian Bale, I think, is the best Batman
best.
of our lifetime.
I will defend Christian Bale as the best Batman ever until the end of time.
yeah.
He was, I mean, in the villains too. I mean, Liam Neeson in the first one was perfect as Ra's al Ghul.
I like Liam Neeson better as a good guy, though.
I do too. It's always tough when you see Liam Neeson. I mean, I'm a big fan of Taken. I know you are too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the best.
Did we
Liam
see that
Neeson-
together?
We did see it together.
Great movie.
movie. And then you had Heath Ledger, who was just legendary performance as the Joker.
Best Joker of all time. too.
No
Even better
question.
than Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson did a great job.
He did.
Great job. No one ever
No
thought
one-
someone would beat him.
Yeah, and then I don't know the name of the guy who played Bane, but
he was-
phenomenal,
Yeah.
spot on. But yeah, definitely there. But yeah, the Ben Affleck thing, I'm still wrapping my head around.
Yeah,
I know
so-
we're gonna be talking more about that as that comes out, but for me, it just doesn't work.
You know what I didn't understand? I thought I keep looking at IMDb every day to
Great
see.
site.
Yeah, it's a great site, full of knowledge and everything. But I thought, you know, at the end of The Dark Knight Rises, where you see Blake, Robin, he finds
Yeah.
the Batcave.
Batcave.
I thought that he was probably gonna be like they're gonna start a Robin series now. I
That's
thought
an
Christopher Nolan
interesting-
would direct a series about Robin,
That's interesting. I mean, I could see that.
because they left it off like something was gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Who's
I
the-
thought Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Did a great
he's
job.
a good actor. I like him.
Yeah.
he did do enough. And in the comic space, I mean, Robin's got a lot of his own standalone series. I mean, Nightwing. I don't know if you know of Nightwing and stuff
No.
like that. So it's possible. But I think it'd be harder to do for people who aren't at their heart comic guys. I mean, I don't think you really need to be a big comic book or follow that kind of stuff to watch the
No,
Batman
yeah.
movies. But I think you'd kind of have to be more of a comic book guy to really go there and commit to a series involving just Rob. But I was wrong with Arrow, and look at that. I mean, that kind of transformed everything. So hope that could be definitely something to go out with. Before we go out on our first segment, the last note I want to leave you off on is Godzilla comes out on Blu-ray next Tuesday. Now, Armand, we've had some debates on the morning show, especially with Ken. You guys, you're not as bad as him. He hated it.
No,
You think it had promise.
I was indifferent about it.
For me, I think Godzilla is American cinema.
Oh,
I think it is.
boy. It's more like
Godzilla
Japanese cinema.
is American cinema. This movie,
American
I'll say it
cinema.
if no one else will. This movie is one of the greatest movies ever made. Those Godzilla scenes, they gave me chills.
I think we need to go to break now.
We're going to break. The last thing I'll say, though, is when that does come out, I'm jumping right to the first Godzilla scene. I'll probably play it over 50 times
my
in a row. But that is
The
gonna...
movie did not transition well at all, Joey.
Okay, yeah. Oh, well, before we get into a big fight and this goes 10 more minutes, let's go to a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about all the new Apple stuff revealed at the press conference the other day. This segment was a lot of fun. Thank you for tuning in.